we do believe we've done the right thing, and we do believe that it's been miscast as an issue that is Loblaw taking funds to pay for things we would otherwise pay for, and that's not accurate.
Well, folks, promises made, promises kept. I told you once you put your names on our buyyourownfridges.com petition, I would personally deliver it all the way to Loblaw Companies Limited head office here in Brampton, Ontario. And by the way, just in, as they say in the news business, you already know that they got a $12 million grant of our money to buy new refrigerators. You already know that this company for 15 years was price fixing bread. But here's what you might not know. After our video rolled the other day about our visit to the flagship store to get customers at Loblaw's in Toronto to sign our petition, Loblaw's went to YouTube and filed a complaint. They want the video removed. They're claiming it's a violation of privacy. Well, what privacy? It's a store that you can walk into as a member of the public. You're filmed on perhaps dozens, if not hundreds of cameras in that store. So I'm really struggling with their issue of privacy. You know what it is, folks? It's not privacy, it's cover-up. Loblaw wants to rip you off in the bread aisle. They want to get a freebie in the refrigeration section, and now they want to cover it up on social media so you're none the wiser. Well, that's not good enough. And like I said, we're here to deliver that petition. So let's go see if Galen Weston III, aka G3, is in the house. Yes, we're here to deliver it. We have, I think, well over 8,000 signatures here. Is Mr. Weston here to accept delivery of this?
I'm sorry.
Call Suzanne Luker.
We have to call public relations. Susan Luker. Okay. I'll call one of the admins.
You'll call one of the, sorry, who?
Admins.
Admin?
And you
Okay.
can talk to her, okay?
Okay, fantastic. Reducing our carbon footprint 30% by 2030. It doesn't mention that they're reducing that carbon footprint with your money. Hey, how you doing, sir? Kevin? David Menzies with Rebel Media. How you doing there?
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, I came by because we wanted to deliver a petition from our viewers. We have probably over 8,000 names so far and counting. It's called buyyourownfridges.com.
Okay.
As you know, Loblaw has accepted $12 million of taxpayer welfare, even though you're a multi-billion-dollar company, to buy new refrigeration units. And Canadians just don't feel that's right. Okay. And especially since the last time your company was in the news, it was about colluding with bakeries and other grocers to price fix bread. So we're kind of just trying to connect the dots here. Why should bad corporate behavior be rewarded rather than punished?
Yeah, I think there are a few points that I'd suggest that we need to get our facts straight on, which is the first is this money was intended to amplify investments we were already making. It wasn't to buy new fridges. It wasn't to give us a competitive advantage. It was to introduce new modern refrigerant gases to our existing equipment and really to help cut our carbon. And so our commitment right now is to reduce our carbon footprint 30% by 2030. And this is part of that. And we had an existing investment planned and applied online, like many, many other organizations, to receive federal funding through an existing $2 billion program. And we were awarded or rewarded $12 million to invest in that program in addition to our own investment. And the idea being we would be investing in something that has broad benefit from a climate perspective and not a Loblaw benefit per se.
But it is a Loblaw benefit. Surely that's $12 million in your pocket. That's coming out of my pocket and our viewers' pockets. I mean, regardless of the merits of the project and what you're spending this money on, your company is worth billions and billions of dollars. Can't you, as the petition says, buy your own refrigeration?
So our point on it is we are doing precisely that. We are putting our own money toward an environmental benefit, and this is additional money, and it amplifies what we were already doing and amplifies it in a way that would not have been done otherwise. So we actually think it's a common benefit.
But Kevin, you're in media, so you're savvy on all things media, I'm sure. Don't you think, in terms of the PR black eye your company has received regarding this handout, and let's face it, for Loblaw companies, $12 million is chump change. Have you thought about giving it back and maybe making a corresponding donation to charity to make up for taking this money and for the price fixing of bread?
Yeah, I think we do a tremendous amount for charities. We're, for instance, the #1 funder of school nutrition programs for kids. So on that front, I think we're well represented in communities right across the country.
Would you give the $12 million back?
I'll accept your petition. Our view is it's additional money on an investment that we were making ourselves. It's an additional money. It's an additional fund that is intended to amplify good work that companies are already doing.
Now, another thing that just broke today for us is that evidently Loblaw has filed a complaint with YouTube. You want our video to be censored that we shot on Monday earlier this week. Why is Loblaw wanting this information to be masked from the public?
I'm actually not aware of any complaint to YouTube, so I can look into it for you. I don't think we're masking anything from the public because we actually announced this program quite publicly, and I think since that time, many of the important facts have been obscured, and that leaves people to many opinions. And I think we can agree on one thing: there are lots of opinions on this topic. I will accept your petition, and we'll accept it with other feedback we're getting. And it's an issue that's dynamic for us, but we do believe we've done the right thing, and we do believe that it's been miscast as an issue that is Loblaw taking funds to pay for things we would otherwise pay for, and that's not accurate.
In a way, you're kind of making my point, because if you would otherwise pay for it, and let's face it, there's never going to be a red tag day for Loblaw Companies Limited, why take the $12 million in the first place, even if you're entitled to it? I mean, and in a way, it is kind of a competitive advantage to your competitors that don't qualify for this kind of money.
Yeah, we see it, so to be clear, we see it as an environmental advantage, and to also be clear, it's money that is in addition to money we were investing ourselves, money that otherwise, it's just amplification of an existing Loblaw program.
Oh, yeah, but Kevin, it's coming out of taxpayers' pockets. That's the thing. I mean, let's accept the fact that, on your accord, this is a good, worthy program. Why do you need other people to pay? Listen, I need a new refrigerator. Is Justin Trudeau going to give me a new fridge?
Well, I think that's one of the points. We are not buying new equipment for ourselves. This does not have a competitive advantage for us. It's about putting modern refrigerants into existing refrigerators to create less climate change and global warming.
It's something to do with refrigeration that's costing taxpayers $12 million. That much is clear, correct?
It's costing Loblaw $36 million, and in addition to that, the government has a very large fund to fund and accelerate good work being done on the environment.
And, well, listen, you've been very generous with your time. I'll give you the petition if you can pass it along to Galen Weston III. I don't think he's here today. I didn't see a car in his reserved parking spot. So that'd be appreciative. And also, could you please look into this complaint that seeks to censor our news outlet? The ostensible reason for the complaint on behalf of Loblaw is that it was a privacy issue, but we went into a store that is open to the public. We went into a store much like this lobby that has all kinds of surveillance cameras. So we're struggling with the idea of how that would qualify as a privacy violation.
I don't know about the complaint, so I can look into it for you, and I think our only ask is that people let us know when they're showing up with cameras, and so that may have been part of the concern, and certainly in a public space, approaching people and asking them questions when we're trying to operate a business may be the source of that, but I don't know what the source or the nature of the complaint was, other than what you've told me.
Okay, well, Kevin, I'll take you on your word for that. If you could look into that, somebody in your office, I'm sure, has it. So here's the petition.
Thank you.
And do you have a business card that I can take?
I don't on me,
okay,
but yeah, I think you have our contact information.
Actually, your name is Kevin, and what's your last name?
GROH.
G-R-O-H.
You got it.
And your title, sir?
I'm with Corporate Affairs.
Corporate Affairs.
Yeah.
Okay, then thank you for your time, sir. Okay.
Okay.
And please give that to Galen Weston. And if you can call off your dogs about censoring us on the YouTube, we'd appreciate that.
Not aware of it, but I will look into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Bye-bye. Well, folks, as you just heard from Kevin in Media Relations here at Loblaw Companies Limited in Brampton, the spin, as far as Loblaw is concerned, is that this refrigeration upgrade is all about saving the environment. This is something they applied for and qualified for. And I guess if the ends justify the means, so be it. But at the end of the day, whether it's refrigeration units or, as he said, refrigeration gases, it is still $12 million coming out of our pocket and going into their pockets. And I don't think they need any charity in the position they're in. Secondly, I don't think Kevin ever addressed the bread price fixing scandal, even though I brought it up a couple of times. I guess they just rather pretend that it never even happened. And thirdly, I'll take him at his word that he didn't know about the complaint that the company sent to YouTube asking the video that we shot on Monday at their flagship store in Toronto be removed due to privacy issues. Come on, it wasn't a violation of privacy. It's a public store. It has dozens, if not 100 or so surveillance cameras on their consumers at all times. And hey, when they called the cops couldn't be bothered to come and evict us, and we were there for more than an hour after they called the police. So I guess the boys in blue don't want to do the bidding of the bread barons here at Loblaw. So there you have it, folks. Hopefully Galen Weston III, or G3, gets that petition and sees exactly how many thousands of you are upset with this particular corporate citizen just flouting the rules and even flouting the law all the time. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, you may have heard the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.